Hi, everybody. For this week, we're moving past the first language acquisition, but we're still kind of with a related topic, and that is the critical period for language acquisition. So sometimes you're going to see the critical period theory, sometimes you'll see critical period hypothesis. It means the same thing. You'll see CPH or CPT. It just means really the same thing. So I want to jump right into the assignments. We only have two this week, but both of them are a little lengthy, so I really want to talk about them. They're really, really interesting, okay? So one is going to be due on Wednesday and one is due on Sunday. And you're going to see that one of them is a lesson plan. Our first lesson plan, we are going to be doing a few of these throughout the semester, so I want to set you up for this one and really explain, exactly what I expect so that you'll be able to do a good job on this. It's really not complicated, but there is a format to it. Okay, so the first one is a summary, and this is all about the critical period hypothesis or critical period theory. Is this idea, and it's really wasn't the original idea of Chomsky, but it was based on Chomsky's ideas about the way that he believes that language works in the brain, especially the language acquisition device. And so this is the idea that there is a time period in childhood, which is really before puberty, where it is possible to acquire language. Now, you have to be careful because they use the word acquire, and that is different from the word learn. So that is part of it. The definition of the word acquire and learn are two different things, okay? So when you get into this material, they're going to be talking about that. Just keep an eye out for that. So that's the first part. And then we're going to be looking at this case study. Some of you have probably heard of this girl before. She's not a girl anymore. She's an adult now. She's still alive. Her name is Jeannie Wylie. And I actually have a summary of her case and all the information about her language, and then the full documentary that you may have seen before. This is posted many places online. It's called The Secret of the Wild Child, I believe is the full title of it. It's about an hour long, and it's absolutely fascinating. The documentary doesn't just focus on language. It talks about everything. So I'm warning you, when you start watching it, you may not be able to stop. It's really, really interesting. But I do want you to watch at least a little bit of it so you can just get a look at her and see some examples of the way that she talks and tries to communicate and tries to make her speech utterances, just so you can kind of get an idea of how that is. It's really not, if you haven't seen her before, it's not like anything else that you've ever seen before. Okay, so we're going to read through all of this, and then what I want you to really do is just first a summary about what the critical period hypothesis is. Just tell me what that is, and then I want you to say whether you think that Jeannie's case proves or disproves the theory. So this is your opinion, why or why not. Just give some of the details of her case and why you think it would prove it or not prove it. Okay. The thing about this theory is that it's not really possible for us to do experiments of this type. Like, you can't just take, human children and isolate them from language for, 12 years or whatever and just see what happens. I mean, that's completely, inhumane, and they just wouldn't be able to do that. So it's just not possible to do an experiment like that. We have to use these kind of case studies that we see, and there are all different kinds of, issues and problems with doing that. So that's the issue here. So I really am looking forward to seeing what you have to say about that one. Now, for the lesson plan, this is just a really hypothetical situation. As a teacher, you would never be in this situation where you would be designing a lesson for one single student, but Jeannie's case is special. So let's just imagine that we had a class where Jeannie was our student, or maybe we had a class of several Jeannies, in our class, and that's who we're going to make a lesson plan for. Okay. So this is a document right here, and you can download it by clicking, or you can get a preview by opening it up, and it basically has all of these elements in it. It's just a Word document. And I am just telling you what to put in each one of the places, okay? So I am giving you the standard. The standard is this part up here. So you don't have to come up with a standard. You are just going to copy and paste the standard right into the lesson plan document. And then for the objectives, the materials, the instructional strategy, and the assessments, that part you are going to write. So that's the part that you are going to come up with. What is she going to learn? What are you going to need to do? What are the different steps? And then how are you going to do some kind of a test at the end to see if she did learn? On the reflection, we can't really do a reflection for this because a reflection would involve actually going out and teaching the lesson to some real students and then reflecting on, okay, did that work or did that not work? How could that have gone better? What would I do better next time? And we don't really have the opportunity to do that in this situation. So don't put anything for reflection. You can just leave that blank, although it is on the lesson plan template that you'll see. So I've just got some tips for you here, and all you're going to do, this is a discussion, but all you're going to do here is you are just going to reply, and you're just going to the discussion, and you're just going to attach your document. So that's going to be right here. There's a little picture of a document, and you're just going to upload your document like this, da da da, and then you can find it. Okay. So for this particular discussion, it's not really a discussion where we're talking back and forth. We're really just sharing these different lesson plans, and I'll be going in here and looking at each one and just kind of checking it out. But my hope is that if you get stuck and if you're not sure what to do, you can check out other people's lesson plans. You can kind of get an idea of what your classmates are doing, and I do hope that you do that, although that it's not necessary if you feel confident in what you're doing. So it's kind of an optional way for us to share ideas here. Okay. So that brings us to the end of the week. And again, there are only two assignments for this week, just the summary and the discussion. And it's all about this idea of critical period for language acquisition, critical period hypothesis, critical period theory. Let me know if you run into any problems or you have any questions about anything. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll be talking to you later. Bye-bye.